what we're talking about is a basic concept, which is up and out. And it's so easy to get caught up in that all of life is about a relationship where we're in this contest, and the contest is between ourselves and someone else, or this group or in that group, and it's all this competition at kind of this plane. And that is part of life, granted. But how can we maybe see it in a little bit of a deeper way? And here I want to talk about basic integrity, and it's interesting. It really, because this really does dramatically matter in terms of the kind of world we want to create, in terms of the kind of culture we want to have. So to back up, oftentimes we think like our job, right, is looking out, and here I am, here they are. My job is to be right, their job is to be wrong, and I'm going to prove it so. Instead, when we really take a breath up and we really look at up and out, we come to realize, like, oh, yeah, my job is to be in integrity, being in alignment with God as God gives me to see it. Now, again, we can have two different perspectives on one particular event and both be in integrity. I think that's really important. And so, but first, I have to come in alignment that way. So just thinking, okay, God, not my will, but yours. Lord, just allow me to hear your voice. Allow me to hear what you would like me to know, and or a sense of what you'd like me to know. That quiet place that gets us in deep integrity. And there's lots of aids for that. There's prayer. There's our conscience. Our conscience is so important. There's revelation, reading the word, et cetera, et cetera. Those will all help to keep us deeply aligned. Then from that alignment, once we've gone up, then we can go out. Then we can be in relationship with other people. And it's no longer about making them wrong. It's just about, here's an integrity. This is what I believe I can offer to it. And it also creates, when we go up towards God, it also will create this beautiful curiosity, because it's not a contest anymore. It's not a winner take all. It's about building community and collaboration and thought, and how do we do that kind of in a much softer way. So that really does matter, and that's where it goes up and out. And there's all kinds of examples of this, friends. Like two sort of tracks I want to very briefly talk about. One is, again, if I'm just going out, like I'm just believing it's this contest in this world, I'll become really concerned, with valuing power, prestige, and possessions. The three P's, right? That'll become my primary concern, because that's where the contest happens. And instead of looking up, and up is always about like this search for meaning. And just think of it when it goes the other way. When I can really search for meaning, then I can look out at these things, power, prestige, and possessions, and they just become means to an end. They're not an end in themselves. Just look at simple resources. You have resources so you can help other people. That's a very different perspective than that it's a contest in terms of who has more toys. Very different perspective. And then the other one that I think is so fascinating too, and I'll close with this, is just looking at the order in which Jesus places the two great commandments. Love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as yourself. Love the Lord your God and your neighbor as yourself. In other words, love God and the person right in front of you. And I think they are inseparably one. And when we go up, when we look at integrity as this upward thing, we're going to align with God. That's the love of God. And then we can love other people. And it's a much better form of love, because it's not an egotistical love that's trying to possess anyone. It's a love that's trying to share and support. And that is a very different kind of place to come from. So friends, just for today, let's just think about living with that up and out orientation. And if you find yourself like overly concerned walking into the day about how you can be right and prove someone else wrong, maybe it's necessary. Maybe they're way off base, right? Way off base, and there is some legitimacy to it. And but still, come from the place of like, my first allegiance is this way, to get aligned with God as God gives me to see it, and then to go out there into the world. And you'll just find that you can even say hard things from a lot more peaceful place, because you're not trying to win anymore. You're just trying to connect to the higher angels of all of our natures. So I hope that makes sense, friends. And again, like most most spiritual things, very easy to say, somewhat more challenging to do. So wishing you all the very best as you do that today. What we're going to do now is, now we're going to shift gears here. And when we shift gears here at New Church Live, what we do is we listen to a little prayer bell. Then we do a little meditation from the Old Testament, a little prayer from the New Testament, come back to an Old Testament blessing. And then you're welcome to, if you're watching on Facebook, welcome to drop a little note there, and we will take a look at those when we're all finished. So first off, let's all get a little breath and listen to the prayer bow. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's give a little cheery hello. I think they've redone the network here, so I think it'll actually should work a little bit easier today. Let us be hopeful in that regard. Yes, it did. All right. So flipping on to a page here, see if we have any commentary here. All right. No commentary today. Feel free to leave it later in the day. Again, we know most people watch archived anyway. So all good. All right, dear friends. God bless all of you. Take care, and we'll see you again tomorrow on 10 Minutes of Morning